Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video. And well, dare I say, emergency update potentially on Ethereum. We're going to do a full update right here. We got another push down over the course of the Asian session this morning, which is, before we talk about the analysis, and there's quite a lot I want to talk about with Ethereum. First of all, if you watched my video yesterday, I told you that this was the one thing you needed to be prepared for, right? We talked about the possibility of either getting a reclaim here above 24 or 4,240, and that was a realistic possibility, but that it was better to assume that we would drop down into the 90-day rolling VWAP because of all the relative weakness we've seen from Ethereum. So hopefully, if you watch my videos, you were prepared for this. We at least expected it. But that is, I mean, when we're talking about Ethereum right now, that's very much the story of Ethereum. That's relative weakness, right? When you compare it to some of the coins you could compare it to, so XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, it's weaker than all of those. And it's weaker by a relatively high margin. And there's some fundamentals behind it. I mean, I've told you for the last 2 days already, that if you take a look at the Ethereum queue, there's a huge amount of Ethereum waiting to exit the validator system, right? So that's basically validators that have Ethereum staked in the proof of stake network, which is Ethereum, and they want to exit being a validator, potentially selling the coin. So this fundamentally has already been bearish, and this has kind of been this sword of Damocles, which I'm not sure if many of you know that, but above Ethereum, which has been there. And then we've seen, while the Asian session for Ethereum usually was quite strong, we saw extensive selling of Ethereum during the Asian session on Monday, which was a shift in how the Asian session treats Ethereum. And you can very clearly see this. If you take a look at all the sessions and how they've been with Ethereum, I want to see this on a basis of the last month. This is actually not, yeah, so cumulative return. So cumulative return per session. You can see that since September, the US has been relatively flat. The EU has been selling, but Asia was the one buying up Ethereum until the 15th of September, which marks this high right here. And then since then, we've seen some massive selling, all right? Actually, to net selling right now, while they were net buyers for the entire month of September. So that's bearish. And then right now, we're also seeing all sorts of articles coming out about Ethereum being Luna 2.0, etc. Just a lot of fear being instilled into Ethereum. That I'm not too worried about, all right? Very often when you see that, that's actually a sign of a local bottom forming. And we are also nearing a major support level, right? So we're nearing the 90-day rolling VWAP, we're nearing the 382 fib, and we're nearing this major fair value gap right here. So even though short term, I still have to remain relatively bearish on Ethereum, even though we're forming some bullish divergences, I will have to remain relatively bearish. So I expect something like this, but I do think between 3,900 and 3,800, that area, I do think we'll be able to find support, and I do think we'll be able to find some sort of recovery eventually from there as well. But short term, I am still bearish and fearful, to be fair, on Ethereum, but I do think local bottom and local support is relatively close. And then from there, we'll see again. I mean, let's keep 3,800 as the main support target. If we get a decent bounce from there, then that still does not matter. That still does not mean that Ethereum will be bullish again, right? Then it actually becomes more likely that Ethereum is just going to consolidate up here, which is not necessarily what you want to see. But yeah, so short term, this is what I expect. Right, I will keep you updated on this. I will keep you updated on all the fundamentals as well, and whether there's some actual reason to be very fearful. But those are my thoughts for now. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and bye.